Welcome everyone to the Moisky News for June the 26th, 2020. Tonight, 9:30pm GMT, political recap stream on this channel. Now, today I'd like to talk about Rebecca Long Bailey, or Rebecca Wrong Daly, whichever you prefer. She was the Shadow Education Minister for Keir Starmer's Shadow Cabinet. She got herself into a bit of hot bother. And as one of the last Corbynistas left on the front benches, has now found herself on the back benches next to her dear bum chum Jezza. Rebecca Long Daly was once considered a potential leader of the Labour Party, before finishing third behind Lisa Nandy and Sir Keir Starmer. She is a far-left MP from Salford, and a very proud socialist. Although based on Labour policy, well then, when they were trying to get into government, when she was in the shadow cabinet for Jeremy Corbyn, it is more likely to believe that she's more of a communist. Hello, comrade. So how did she get fired, or sacked in the shadow cabinet? She tweeted out an article. The article was an interview in The Independent with the actress Maxine Peake. In the article, Maxine Peake talks about her own past, where she admits she hates capitalism, and was in fact a card-carrying communist. But it wasn't all of that got the attention and ire of a lot of people. No, it was the part where she referenced Black Lives Matter and George Floyd, and that the technique used to kill George Floyd was a tactic used by the Israeli secret services and taught in seminars to the police. Two quick things on that. The Israeli police have denied this, saying there is no protocol for putting pressure on the neck, and Maxine Peake herself has had to come out and say via a tweet, "Yes, I was wrong, but I'm not sorry." To mitigate some of the damage of this, Rebecca Wrong Daly has had to tweet out a series of, tweets. In those tweets, she references the fact that the entire point of the article, for the most part, was to hold the government to account and to blame them for their handling of the current emergency, along with wanting Labour to be united. Right, because nothing screams let's be united more than going back to the good old days, eh? I had this discussion with Mitch about whether or not Maxine Peake is anti-Semitic. I'm inclined to believe she's not, but only because she has a very obvious and clear bias since before coronavirus she was meant to be in Palestine. Continuing through the tweets by saying that no way was my retweet an intention to endorse every part of that article. You don't understand cancel culture, do you, Rebecca? Well. Not as progressive as I thought. She also went on to explain that while acknowledging her mistakes, she had spoken to a number of people, tried to speak to Keir, but he'd already made his decision, which tells me something quite damning about the whole thing. I think he was looking for an excuse to get rid of you, and he had one handed to him by you on a plate. People did in fact under your tweet say, "Is this your resignation?" because that's what they thought and they called it. She's also made it abundantly clear that she will not be removing the tweet with the article, something which I can fully support. Stand by your convictions while you're licking windows at the back of the bus. Some have suggested that this was Keir Starmer's way of getting rid of all the hard leftists on the front benches, something which is more than likely, but also that she, Jeremy Corbyn, and all of those in those very safe Labour seats that are hard left politicians should instead form a socialist party, because as we all know, with independent parties, they'll do better than cuck, because we learnt from the mistakes of the past. For the sake of it, I don't think Jeremy Corbyn would ever form another party, because while he will outright say he is not a career politician, he would never jeopardise his career in politics for a chance to spend 4 years being an ardent socialist in a minimal party that will never gain any power. He'll go where the power is, and I think he'll stay there. Rebecca Long Bailey has put herself in a rather odd position. The position is that she was only elected in 2015, survived 2 general elections, been in the shadow cabinet since 2015. Her career in frontline politics is all but over after essentially one complete term, which is a damning statement, I guess, but it'll be interesting to see what you manage to accomplish from the back. The answer is nothing, by the way. But since you're in a Labour safe seat, you can be quite comfortable in the fact and the knowledge that you'll never have to worry about your job, unless you do something even more incompetent than last time. As more and more of the hard left voices disappear from the front benches, it will be very interesting to see what happens to the Labour Party going forward. If Keir Starmer is going to be consistent, holding this no-nonsense position could in fact benefit the party. But at the same time, since I don't support cancel culture and think MPs, while they should be held to a different standard because of the public office they hold, they should be free to say and think whatever they want. And that conspiracy theory was debunked. Perhaps if Rebecca had just said, I agree with all of this article except for the conspiracy part, not that, perhaps she'd have been safer for a little bit longer. Or not. Who knows? I'm going to link the article along with a number of tweets down below that are relevant to all of this. As a final thing, people have outright started cutting their Labour membership cards and tweeting about this because that will really affect change. Oh, you couldn't even cut in a straight line. That's tragic. With this, I'd like to know what you think. I think it's about time things like this happened, and honestly, this is far more juicy than anything else I had planned for today. Please do let me know in the comments down below.